Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. So today's sketch is going to be this one right here. My crafty bestie, Beatrice, actually challenged me. She sent it to me, and so I'm going to go ahead and attempt this sketch. Now, I have all of my pages pre-cut. On here, I'm lining up inch down because I think that's how I'm going to create my little tag-ins, but we'll come back to that. The strips themselves are a half an inch by 2.5, and what I'm going to do is just put some of the tape runner down and then add some art glitter glue and then line this along the bottom and then work my way up to the top. And I will tell you this. Okay, I don't know how other people do it, and I mentioned it on one of my previous videos. Things like this give me a little bit of anxiety, only because every time I try to do it, it either comes out crooked. I'm like, I cut all these pages the same size. They're all the same length. They should line up and I should be fine. Well, as I'm putting them down, I notice they're just a tad bit shy. If I line them up on one end, it's a little bit shy on the other, and it's not a very straight line. This is what I say about that. If you're the type of person who has to have it very precise, then you'll want to just leave your strips as long as you possibly can, allowing for that 2.5 inch, and then just let it hang off the edge and then trim it at the end. Okay. When you cut them to the exact size, and I'm doing quote signals even though you guys can't see it, it gives it room for there to be differences in the cuts depending on your your cutter that you're using. The paper could have been in there a little wonky, whatever the situation may be. You can also draw a faint line and then line all of the strips up to a line, so that way it's use your T-square or something like that and get a nice straight edge that you can line it up on. There's probably a lot of different tricks you can do, or even put I've seen Jennifer McGuire and some of the other ladies do this, where they put down a lot of ATG tape or score tape and then they put strips down on the paper and then cut it to the size that they need. You can do it that way too. I wish I had thought of that. And then that way you can almost guarantee the page would be more straight than trying to add each one individually. Okay, we're going to move on now. So I grabbed some of my peel-offs, and I had two sort of like extra pieces that I had saved. And so I'm using those because I knew the centerpiece was going to be covering any type of space for them not meeting up. You know what I mean? And then the extra on the end, I'm going to put over on the underside, because that's going to be the part that's attached to our mat, which is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then this card itself is 4 by 5 1/4. And this is still using the breathe. It's either breathe, breath, however you want to say it, collection from Kaisercraft. Okay. I'm using up some of the scraps. I still have a ton of scraps, which I'll show you in a little bit. I'm going to grab the pad, which is where I store all of the scraps for it, so that way they're all in one spot. And then we're going to press that down. And the line I drew, I was going to cut my angle using that, and then I realized, okay, I don't like that shape. Now, I could still use it as a tag. I just didn't want that shape for this particular one, so I'm going to put it to the side. And actually, I wound up like tossing it, I think. So I cut another piece that is, I think I made it 3 1/4 inches long, and it's like either 2 1/4 wide. And then I'm just going to grab a quick punch. It's going to put one of those diagonals on each side. They're the same size and I don't have to worry about it. It takes the stress off of it. And then I'm going to take my Crop-A-Dile and just punch a hole, and our tag is made. And then for the top, I'm going to use one of the stickers from the sticker book, and I'm just going to trim the extra off the back. And then I'm going to grab another one of the stickers that has amazing on it, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue so that way I can move it around and get it as straight as I can. And then I'm going to trim the back here. All right. And then I decided to use some seam binding. I actually had some that has that more blush pink color. It really matches well with this particular collection. So I decided I was going to tie a knot, and I always start with a knot and then kind of make my bows. And then once I have it in a good, probably good shape, and it took me a couple of tries on this one, my knot didn't want to line up right, but I finally get it shaped to where I'm gonna like it on my card. Then I line up my tail that's kind of hanging by itself with the other side, and I'll trim it and then put it down on the actual card using a glue dot. Sorry, I'm fussing with this bow because it's driving me crazy. And then once I had it, I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that. So I'm gonna tie it, line them up, and then just cut on a diagonal. And then there's our bow. And then I'm going to grab a glue dot. And then make sure, because it was kind of a big glue dot, I'm going to go ahead and attach that. And then glue up the back here. And glue this one down. This, I'm going to do it just like how they have it. Straight up and down. And I'm going to put a little glue underneath the bow just so that way it's the glue dot and the wet glue, so it's nice and strong. And in this one, I kind of tilted it on the side, so you can do it either way. Make it a little wonky, or you can make it straight up and down, whatever is your fancy. And I'm showing you here all my scraps, and I still have a few big pages, so I'm going to keep going because I'm enjoying this collection. I just think it's so pretty. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. And I'm going to try to make sure to leave links to Beatrice's channel and either up here in an iCard or down below in the more section. So definitely check out hers, and I appreciate you guys for stopping by today, and I hope you have a really great weekend.